Online insurance, just wait for another 5 minutes. Just today the link was changed now. So some of the students are joining just for 5 minutes. Since the link was changed and some students are going to join. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, online insurance, is my voice is loud and clear? Okay, done. So let's start the session, guys. In today's class, we are going to continue from here. Okay. In the last class, we are discussing till now what are the things we have covered means. The first one is what are the different types of values, the concepts within the Python. First, we have covered values. What is meant by different types of values? And to store these values, we are having the variables. And what is variables and what is the syntax for variables? And next, we have discussed the output in Python, how to print the output in Python, output in Python. And next, we have discussed the fundamental data types. Fundamental data types. What are the fundamental data types are there? And next, in today's class, we are going to discuss the next one is called as typecasting. So the next one we are going to discuss is typecasting and input function. And third one is string related to strings. These are the topics which we are going to try to cover in the today's class. In the previous classes, we have covered these topics and we have went in the slowly one by one topic wise. In the Python first class, we have discussed about the what is Python and what is the introduction to Python, and also installation of Python, how to install the Python, the installation of Python. So these two things we have covered in the class one. In the class 2, I have explained for you the values and variables. In the last class, I have explained for you the output in this one. So total, we have covered 3 classes till now in the Python. And today's is our 4th class. So this is our class 1 in Python. In the class 2, within the class 2 of Python, we have covered what is meant by values and to store these values, variables. What is meant by variables and what are the rules for the variables? Okay, rules. Okay, so rules for variable name. Okay, variable name. We cannot select the variable name as per our choice. Rules are applicable. Rules for variable name, some variable name. Okay, next in the class 3, we have discussed, that is in the last class, we have covered the output in Python. That is nothing but print. How to print in Python, and along with the fundamental data types clearly in detail we have discussed here. Now in today's class, we are going to cover the next one related to, okay, typecasting. That is class number 4, class 4. So let us maintain the diary. So in the each class, what are the concepts we are covering? Let's maintain the diary like this, in this way, so that you'll understand the what are the concepts we have covered, which class, which concept was covered, and which one you want to revise also, recording will be available according to that. Right? Now coming to the typecasting. Now within the typecasting, okay, next concept related to typecasting. First, what is meant by typecasting? Typecasting is nothing but converting from one data type to another data type. So if you are trying to convert from one data type to another data type, it is called as typecasting. The concept is called as typecasting. So converting from one data type, one type of value to another type of value, and that too which is possible. Okay. So typecasting is converting from one data type to, what are the one data type is there? One data type to another data type is called as typecasting, right? Now, so converting from one data type to another data type is called as typecasting. And here we are going to see some examples like this. And why it is important means you'll understand in the next concept. Okay, the reason behind why they have created this one, you'll understand automatically. Okay, next concept in the today's class itself, you'll understand the importance. Now, first we are going to take the int value, some int value. Choice is yours. You can choose positive number or negative number or something. And if you want to convert this one, let me store this one in the A. A is equal to 10. So here a is equal to 10 means basically it is a int value. Now I want to convert. What are the different types are possible means first one is converting to int. Int converting to int not a problem. So it is already in the int format. So it is not going to be converted. It will be asterisk. But the function to convert the int is int of. So inside the int of you have to write either the value or variable name. If you write the variable name also, it will replace that variable name with the value only. So either you can write the value or variable name. Directly if you write the 10 also, answer will be the same. So int of a also, int of 10 also, answer will be remain same because a will be filled with the 10 only. So here what are the a values there? It is going to fill that value only. Next, float of a. Float of a function. Float function is used to convert any other data type to float basically. This is the function. So float function is used to convert from one function to another data type to float. So here first what is going to take means 10. So 10 is int type. So it is going to be converted to float type just by adding the 0. Just it will add the 0. Next, to convert to boolean, bool of. The function name is called as bool of. Inside this you have to write either the value or variable. So I'm writing the variable name a. So when I have written the variable name a, first it will replace the a. So a will be replaced with the 10. Bool of 10. Bool of 10 means answer is true. Because the output should be boolean value. The output should be float value. The output should be int value. When you're using the int function, the output will be int. When you're using the float function, output will be float. When you're using the boolean function, the output will be bool. Here the point is other than 0, any number, whether it is a positive number or negative number, from minus infinity to plus infinity, any number is true only. Only the false will be, only 0 will be considered as false. 0 or 0.0. Only that one will be considered as false. Now here I have given the a is equal to 10. So bool of a, what is bool of a means true. It is going to give the output of true. String of a. What is string of a means? It is going to give me the 10. Within the 10 will be converted like this. The 10 will be converted like this. So string of a. So string of a means string of. It is going to convert the int to string format like this. Now if you change this one to 0, okay, instead of 10, if you convert the a value is equal to 0, int will remain same. Difference. The float of 0 will convert it as 0.0. Just it will add the 0.0. Bool, as I've told you, bool of 0 is equal to false. And string of 0 is nothing but it is going to add the inverted quotes like this. It is going to add the quotes. And you are going to get the output in this way, right? So like this, you are going to have the data, or you can try with the minus number also. In the similar way, you can try with the one minus number, one positive number, one negative number, and one 0. Int of a is going to give the same value, no difference. Float will add just 0.0. Boolean will give the true only. Other than 0, minus infinity to plus infinity, everything is 0. And minus 1 will be added with the inverted quotes. What is the difference between this minus 1 versus this minus 1 means? It is int value, it is string value. Remaining everything will remain the same. Okay, one example we have tried with the int. Now let us try with the one more example with the float. Some example let us take for the float. Now this float value, let us convert to int. Int of a. Int of a means it is going to be converted to 2.2, only 2. Sir, for example, int of b, what are the b value is there? So I'm going to write here b, sorry, my mistake. Int of b. Int of b is 2. Sir, 2.4 it is 2. For example, 2.98 is there. Now, for example, 2.98 is there means then also it is 2 only. It will just remove the after the decimal. Sir, 2.98 round figure is 3, no sir. That is called as round function. Round of b, if you ask this question, then you are going to get the 3. That is different. Int means it will remove the after the decimal value. After the decimal value, whatever the value you are having, just it will remove. Though it will not make the round figure. Sir, for 2.98, what is the round figure means? Round function means round figure. But int will not do the round figure. Int will just remove the after the decimal whatever you are having, it is going to remove that. Int function is in that way. Next, float. Float of B will be no difference in the float of B. Float of B will be as it is, and it is going to give the same 2.98. No difference. Bool. What is bool of B? As I have told you, other than 0, any number between minus infinity to plus infinity, with decimal or without decimal, everything will give the output as true only. And next one is string. String of B. String of B is going to give you the output as quotes. This 2.98 within the inverted quotes. So within the inverted quotes, you are going to get the 2.98 as a string value. It is converted as a string value. Now you can try with the minus. Even minus also will give the same thing. No difference in the plus or minus. Float will be as it is. Boolean will give the true only. Even for negative number also it is true only. And string, just it is going to add the minus. So hyphen 2.98. According to the string, it is hyphen. According to string, it is not minus. If number wise, if you see, we call it as minus value. But from the string point of view, it is just a hyphen. Okay. And string of B, if you add the string of B, it is going to keep the inverted quotes like this. Like this, it is going to convert. Even you can take the 0.0 as the example. And you can check int will give the 0. Float will give the same as it is, no difference. Float will be converted to float means same answer. It will not be converted. Boolean of B. What is boolean of B? It is going to give the false. So as I've told you, other than 0 or 0.0 value wise, not data type wise, value wise, whether 0 or 0.0, it will be converted as false. And string of B will give you the quotes. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? Sir, whether these are silly things or sir. Okay. These silly things, when you write the certification, in the flow, you are going to keep the output in a different way and you will feel that it is a correct answer. But after that, you will get the less score. So this is the silly questions were given in the certification. Sir, certification means silly questions they'll ask. I don't think so. They'll ask big programs. No. In the certifications, they'll focus on the fundamentals. To check, for example, you want to construct the fifth floor. Fifth floor is having the good weightage or not in the building means first you have to go to the basement. If the basement is proper means fifth floor or sixth floor also, later you can, if you get the permission means seventh floor also you can get. But the point is not that. Point is in terms of base, you are having the strong base or not. That is more important, right? Next, what are the C is equal to? I'm going to take now C is equal to 1 Boolean value. Okay, now for Boolean value, when I convert the Boolean value into int or into float, into Boolean only. Boolean, when it is converted to Boolean, there will be no difference. And string, when I convert to string. Okay, now in this 4 of them, let us see one by one. Int of C, that is int of true will give you the 1. Okay, true will be converted. When you are trying to use the int of true, it will be giving 1. Similarly, float of true will give you as 1.0. Okay, so int of true will give you the 1. In float of true 1.0. Bool of true, already it is Boolean only. Boolean again converted to Boolean, there will be no difference. It will be the answer same. And str of C, that is string. So just you are going to add the inverted quotes. It is going to add the quotes. Now the same way you are going to try for the false. How we have applied for the true, in the same way let us try for the false. Now within the false, C is equal to false. This is also basically Boolean. Int of false is 0. Int of true is 1. Int of false is 0. Float of false is 0.0. So int of true is 1. Okay. Int of true is equal to 1. Next, int of false is equal to 0. Similarly, a bool of 0 is false and bool of 1 is true. Opposite. Okay. Now, similarly, you are having the int of true, int of false, float of true. Float of true is 1.0 and float of false is 0.0. What are the float? What are the float we are having? Float of false is equal to 0.0. Right? So you are going to get int of true is equal to 1, int of false is equal to 0, float of true is equal to 1.0, float of false is equal to 0.0. And next, coming to the next one. Okay, in the next we are going to try the strings, and this is the most important. This is only most important. First, let us try the empty string. A string doesn't have any character, 0 characters. A string which has the characters. What is the difference between this string versus this string? Means in this string, 0 characters are there. String is there, but characters are 0. Number of characters are 0. Here also string is there, but number of characters are equal to 1. Okay. So now we are going to try with this. Sir, every time you are executing one line of code separately, can't we execute all the 4 lines at a time? Miss, if you execute all these four lines, you are going to get only for the last one. Why you are going to get for the last one? Because the reason is for all these things, you are not using the printer. For the last one, whichever the last line you are executing in the entire program, the last line will be automatically printed. Okay. The last line in the, what are the program you are writing now? In the program, what are the last line you are writing? That last line, if you don't use the print also, it will be printed automatically. So every line of code, in every line of code in Python, write this sentence in the notes. Every line of code in Python, if you execute a single line, if you are executing a single line, when you are executing a single line of code in Python, when you execute a single line of code in Python, when you execute a single line of code in Python, single line of code in Python, either it will be saved, either it will be saved or it will be printed. Either it will be saved or it will be printed. Any one will happen. It will print. Out of these two, one will happen. For example, see here, I'm writing here D is equal to empty string. I'm writing D is equal to something. Why it is not giving any print here? Because in this line, storing was done. Store was done means print will not done. Print done means store will not complete. Any one. Out of these two, any one only will happen. Both cannot be done in the single line. Printing plus storing both cannot be done in the single line. Okay. Either print will be done or store will be done. Is the point is clear, guys? When you are trying to execute a single line of code in Python, either it will be saved or it will be printed. Any one will happen. Right? Now, so D is equal to empty string. I'm going to take one empty string. And this empty string, when I'm trying to convert to int of D, when I'm converting this empty string to int, now it is going to throw me the error. Okay. Saved means where it is going to save. Save means in terms of variable. Variable. Right? It is going to save as the variable, inside the variable. This happens only in the Python, or it is in the same as in the Jupyter Notebook or VS Code or wherever it is. Okay. Now, next. Here, whatever the, sir, when I use the string of C, I'm getting the answer with a single quotation of 1. But when we define, we use double quote. What is the reason? No, whether it is a single quote or double quote, answer is same only, na? If you are interested, use the single quote only. Don't use double quote. While defining also, you use the single quote only. As I've told you, right? in the last class, single quote or double quote or triple quote for a single line string, there will be no difference. And I have shown you the example also in the last class. Here I have defined with a single quote only, na? Hema Maheshwar. Okay. Is single quote means care? No. It is single, whether you have written in the single quote or in the double quote, it remains same. The meaning will remain same and it is considered in the Python as the same. No difference. Now, coming to the strings, as I have told you, when you are trying to convert the strings, this point to be noted. So when you try to convert a string, what are the string is there? A string to another data type. What are the another data type is there? Or more precisely, when you are trying to convert a string to int, when you are trying to convert a string to float, when you are trying to convert a string to boolean, when you are trying to convert a string to float, string to boolean, and string to int. So here, which one you have to remember means string of what are the boolean value you are trying to convert the whatever you are having. Okay, when you are trying to convert the boolean value, that is true you are taking, and you are trying the string, what are the string you are having, I mean, sorry, bool of string. What are the bool of string is there? If it is empty string, for empty string, the boolean value is going to be the bool of string is going to be the false. Other than empty string, any string other than empty string, when you convert to boolean, the bool of string will give you as true. So empty string will give the false, non-empty strings will give you the true. Is the point is clear? Boolean values will give the output as false, whereas for empty strings, the bool of string will give the false. For other than empty strings, non-empty strings, simply to write for non-empty strings. Okay, the boolean of string will give you the true. One of the important point. Strings are only important. Sir, why strings are important, sir? Very simple. Reason I will tell you very simple. Here, let's take one example, Excel. Inside the Excel here, I'm going to write X, Y, 8, 24, Shiva, something I have written. And here missing value, some missing value is there. And again, I'm writing SRK, Pavan, and some missing value. Again, I'm writing some Krishna, like this. Now, in this total 10 values, how many missing values are there, guys? Total, how many missing values are there? 2. This one and this one. 2 missing values are there, na? Here in the Excel, I'm using the function name is called as count A. What is count A? It is going to count the number of cells that are not empty. So once I have given this one, so first I'm going to use the count A function. Inside the count A function, if I provide this one as the input, and it is going to give me the total non-null, non-empty values, how many are there? 8. Basically, what happens in the backend, you know, this is a tool. You are writing the tool and you are writing simply count A function and you are executing enter, click on the enter button, it is working. But to design this tool, this formula in the backend, one program is there. Microsoft has integrated one program inside that. What that program they have integrated? Tool you are seeing, like ChatGPT also tool you are seeing, but what is the programs behind that? That is the point now. Development means that one. Service means this one. Service means which was already designed, we are going to use. Development means we will create. So now in the backend, what is the program, you know? This is a bool of X. What is bool of X? What is bool of X, guys? Everyone? This is a string now. Bool of X. What is the output? So non-empty string, the output is true. In the backend, it will do like this. Bool of y, true. Next, bool of 8, true. Bool of 24, bool of Shiva, true. And what about the bool of empty string? False. And bool of SRK, true. Bool of Pavan, true. And bool of empty string, again false. And bool of this one, true. And it is going to do the sum of them. When it is going to do the sum of them, automatically int of this true will be converted to int. What is int of true? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1. And what is the total of this? 8. In the backend, the COUNTIF function will do this. Basically, point is clear? In the backend, you are not able to see that one. But what is the COUNTIF function will do? So COUNTIF function will count. Count means sum of. What sum of? These values sum of. From here to here, it is going to do the sum of. So in the when I have written this one, it is going to do basically this one. Sum of what are the sum of these values are there. It is going to apply the sum of this one. Sum function. And in the backend, it is going to count like this. Like that, you got here 8 in the backend. Okay, this function backend code is that. Okay, in the Excel, it was integrated. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone understood? Example. Okay, like that, the strings are having the more importance, particularly strings. Particularly strings, guys. More particularly strings. Sir, why strings you are stressing like that? Because strings only, we call it as text to data. Generative AI is completely based on the strings only. For us, the most important part is strings for generative AI. Okay. So now, so here for non-empty strings, you are going to get the true. Empty strings, you are going to get the false. Now, when you are trying to convert a float, okay. So any string value, when you are trying to convert the float, okay, float of string, when you convert this one, when you will get the output, in which case you will get the output means if you remove the quotes, if you remove quotes, if you remove what are the quotes are there, single quote or double quote, if you remove the quotes, it should be float. It should be float value. Then only it will be converted. Otherwise, no. If you remove the quotes, what are the balance is there? Na? It should be float value. Then it can be converted. Otherwise, no. So see here. Okay. Just here I'm going to write, okay, D is equal to one empty string. One empty string I'm considering. After this empty string, first I told you the boolean, right? So let us write first the boolean. Boolean of D. How it works, let us see. Pause. Inside this one, let us write one character. That character can be anything. Number, alphabet, special character, including the space. One character is one character only. Count is one character. Once one character is available inside that, maybe space also, it is going to give the output as true. Even it is space also. One character. Here, can you see the size? If the size is 0 means false, size is other than 0, true. Okay. So size, when I'm going to consider the empty string, it is 0. When I'm taking one character, that character might be minus also. For us, it is minus from string point of view, hyphen. If you take the hyphen also, one character. Once one character is there, miss, automatically you are going to get the output as true only. Even in the Excel also the same thing. If you have hyphen also, it will be considered as non-null value. It is not a empty value. Only pure empty value only, it will be considered as empty. At least one character. Inside that space is there also. It will say that it is not empty. Is the point is clear? Now, next. So first, how to convert to Boolean is clear, right, everyone? So when you are having a single character, when you are having this one. So let me take this one as a different examples. E is equal to yes. E is equal to yes. And F is equal to string of 1.2 string. And G is equal to 1. like this. Let's take multiple examples like this. In this example, Boolean, what is a Boolean? It is going to give false. In this example, what is a Boolean? It is going to give bool of E. What is a bool of E? Which is nothing but true. First, E is not defined. So first I am going to define the E, because E is not executed, F is not executed, and G is also not executed. Let me execute this. Executed now. Okay. Now bool of F. What is bool of F? That is also true. Okay. Bool of F is true. And similarly, bool of G. Bool of G also true. For all these things, it is true only. No difference. Is that clear now? How to convert a string to Boolean is everyone is clear? And string to string, string to string, no need to discuss. String to string automatically will be the same. Waste of anything to anything, that same thing will be the same. No difference will be there. Okay, no need to even convert also basically. Just I am showing for you. If I convert also, answer will be the same. It will not change anything. As it is will be there. Okay, string of F. If I convert like this, then also answer will be the same. And similarly, okay, string of G. What are the string of G is there? It is also going to be the same. No difference. As it is will be there. Right? Now, let us try with the next one. Float. Now, let us focus on the float. Now, when you are trying to convert this one to float, okay, now what it is going to do means it will remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, what is that there? It is equal to float value. After removing the quotes, whether the output is float value? No. Since it is not equal to float value, it will throw the error. Float of D is error. It is saying that it cannot be converted to float. Now, float of E. Now tell me float of E. So E is what? String S. Inside this, remove the quotes. What is the, after removing the quotes, what is balance is there for you? S letter is there. Now S letter is considered as float value? No, S is going to throw the error for this one also. It cannot be converted. Now if I write for this one, float of F. Now if you remove the quotes, what is the balance? 1.2. Whether it is equal to float? Yes. So it will be converted and it is going to give the 1.2. Here is the interview question. What is the interview question is, can a string can be converted to int or float? Can a string can be converted to int or float? Many students will give the answer as yes. Oh, sorry, no. Most of the students will give the answer as no. But answer is what? For some of the strings it can be converted. For some of the strings it cannot be converted. Answer is that. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? Understood? So see here, this string was converted now. Earlier string was not converted. Earlier string was not converted. Two strings are not converted, but this string was converted. Which string can be converted means which in the quotes which is equal to float, that particular string can be converted. Now, sir, here I am having the minus 1.2. After removing the quotes, what is that? After removing the quotes, minus 1.2, it is equal to float only now? Yes. Then automatically it can be converted. It can be converted. Sir, what about the plus, instead of plus 1.2? Now, if I remove the quotes, what are the if I remove the quotes for the plus 1.2, here now F is plus 1.2. Now, if I remove the quotes, now what is the output? 1.2. This is also converted. Sir, plus and minus is converted. Similarly, into also will be converted. Now you tell me, after removing the quotes, what is this output? Star 1.2. Star 1.2 is called as float value. No. Now it can be converted to float? It can be converted now? No. It is going to throw the error. So whichever after removing the quotes, which is equal to float, only that can be converted to float. Which can be converted to float means plus or minus number. What are the number you are having with one decimal? Even one, if you are adding the one more decimal, for example, 1.2.3. This is the string value. Now, if you convert this one to float, now remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, what is the balance value you are having? 1.2.3. Whether that is equal to float value? No. So can it be converted? Answer is no, it cannot be converted. It is going to throw the error. It is going to throw the error that it cannot be converted. Which can be converted means which can be possible. Is the point is clear? Now, if you are considering the D is equal to, as one of the student is asking, D is equal to empty string, float of D. D has null value. It is a float variable. Accept the value, it is possible. Float, so now, float of D. Okay. Now, according to you, empty value. Here nothing I am writing. It is float. Now here 185 cell number or 184. The line number 184 is a float. F is equal to, or I'm going to use the I is equal to. I have not written anything. It is float. According to you, Vivek. After removing this quotes, what is balance inside that? Nothing na. Here also nothing na. It is equal to float. It is equal to float according to you, Vivek. Waiting for your answer. Yeah, you want me to unmute means wait for the end. At the end, I can unmute. Last 10 minutes. Okay, make a note of this question in the notes. Right? Done. Any float value, this is considered as float value. This is considered as float value. But it will not be considered as float value. In this case, the balance after removing the quotes will not be considered as float value. Everyone is clear? Which can be converted to float means which is having after removing the quotes, which is possible, that one can be converted to float. Next, coming to this, similar way for this. Okay, float of G. What are the float of G is there? Now, if I remove the quotes, what is the balance? 1 you are going to get. So, which is 1.0. 1 means nothing but 1.0. So, automatically it will be converted to float. Next, come to the int. Now, come to the int. Similar way for int also. Now, int of D. Int of D means if you remove the quotes, what is the balance you are having? Nothing. Nothing is called as int. No. So, it can be converted? No. It is going to throw the error. Now, this one, int of E. Now, if you remove the quotes, after remove the quotes, what is the balance you are having? S letter. S letter is equal to int? No. It is going to throw the error. Now, this one, int of F. Int of F. Remove the quotes. What is the, after removing the quotes, what is the balance you are having? 1.2. 1.2 can be converted to int? Yes. So here, see, you are going to get the error that 1.2 also is not used as the int because here you are having the dot. Now there's one, only one, int of G. Int of G. Now when you are converting this int of G, remove the quotes. When you remove the quotes, what is the output you are going to get? 1, and that one is int? Yes. So it can be converted. So which string values can be converted means just after removing the quotes, whichever is possible, that will be converted. Right? Now, so here Vikas is asking for F is equal to 1.2, did not typecast case to 1. Yes. So when you are converting this one, okay, and after removing the quotes, what are the balance quotes you are removing? And when you have applied the int of F, automatically int of F means basically it is 1.2. 1.2, what are the 1.2 is there? 1.2 of int. It has applied automatically the int for the remaining value. What are the remaining value? It has applied the int. Default it will apply. Default it will apply the int. Yes. One only na. One. This one na. Yes. F is equal to 1.2 int of F. Int of F, it is throwing the error as 1.2. Now the same thing when you are considering the float of this one, it is converting to 1.0. That is default. why it is going to consider the default in that way? Just take 1 minute. Okay. Just in your case, what you are asking is f is equal to string of 1.2. So this one, when you are converting to int means, as I've told you, int of string means the string will be removed with the quotes. Remove the quotes. What are the quotes are there? You have to remove. This balance should be equal to this one. No, it is not equal to this one. Nah? Since it is not equal to this one, that is the reason it is throwing the error. This is clear, everyone. Anyone has question in this? This is clear now. Coming to this one, float of string 1.2. Float of string 1.2 means what? Just it is going to remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, balance what is there? 1.2. This 1.2 is equal to float? Yes. So it can be converted. So it is getting converted. So this one is clear. This one is clear. These two are clear for the example of this one. Is that clear, everyone? Now our question is with respect to this, right? Now when it comes to this one, G is equal to string 1. Okay. And when I'm applying the int of G, now what it is going to do? Basically, quotes are removed. After remove the quotes, what is the balance value? 1. Whether this one is equal to int? Yes, equal to int. So it is converted. Same logic, whatever was applied for here, this one and this one. These three are applying on the same logic. No difference in the three of them, right? Now coming to the G is equal to 1. Okay. Now when it is converted to float of G, what are the float of G you are trying to do? What is the logic it has to apply? First G value. G is not what is equal to G of string of 1. Now what are the string of 1 is there? This one is removed. Now what are the balance is there? The balance is equal to float. So just it is applying the float of balance and it is going to give the 1 of 0. Direct. Yes. So that is the default. Default it is in this case also it has done in the same way. By default it has converted here also in the float only. Here also it converted in the float only. When it is tried to use with the float, automatically by default it will apply the float for the output. So for the output here 1.2 whatever you have received, for that it applies the float. So float of 1.2 has given you the 1.2 and the float of 1 has given you the output of 1.0. Is the point is clear? Now that is the reason, since here few of them are getting confused, for this reason what they have done is G is equal to or H is equal to, I'm going to take one more example, 1 2 3. What are the 1 2 3 is there? Here I'm going to use the function name is eval. What is meant by eval means here first it will remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, balance what are the values there? According to the value, the data type will be assigned. Now there is no more discussion of int or float. So first H is equal to string 1 2 3. Eval of H. What is eval of H means? It is going to give the 1 2 3. Now here if I take the 1.4. Now H is equal to 123.4. Eval of H is nothing but float. Automatically it is going to take. So int is there means int it will take. Float is there means float it will take. Now no more conversions, no more confusions. So whenever you are having the numerical data, okay, what are the numerical data is there? That numerical data simply apply the eval. For numerical data, remember, for numerical data, if the string consists of numerical data, just apply the eval. For example, 1.2 or 123.4.5, you are writing like this, double dot. Now when you are converting this one to eval, it is going to throw the invalid. So either for int or float values only it is applicable. Clear? Yes, Prasad Reddy. 1.2 is not equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1.0. Exactly. Prasad Reddy. Here the point is you are slightly getting confused when the you are having the float of string. This is the point, right? Float of string. First, inside the float of string, what are the string value you are having? First, remove the quotes. Now balance, you will get the value. For that value, you apply the float. And what are the output? That is the output. Point is clear? Prasad, is this point is clear? Prasad Reddy? For example, now, if you take the float of 25.4, which is string, what I've told you, first remove the quote. After removing the quotes, what is the balance? 25.4. For this 25.4, you apply the float. What is the output you are going to get? 25.4. Now, for example, you are having here into 25 only into 25. Okay, that is this one, string 25. Now, according to this, what I have told you just now, remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, what is the balance you are having? 25. For that 25, you just apply the float of 25. Float of 25 is what? 25.0. Clear? For the output, it will apply after removing the quotes. After removing the quotes, for the value, it will apply the float. Is that clear? And what would be the outcome of int of 25.6? The output is 25 only, right? Exactly, 25 only. For 25.6 int, it is 25. Correct. Prasad, now it is clear for you? What are your question you have got? Yes or no? Yes, you got it right. Same logic was applied. Same sentence you write here. So when you are trying to convert anything into float or int, a string into int or a string, what are the string is there? String into float. When you are trying to convert, what it will do is first it will remove the quotes, right? Like this. When you are trying to convert this one, first it will remove quotes of string. What are the string is there? It will remove the quotes of the string. After quotes removed, now what are the value is there? Balance. What are the value is there? For that value, it will apply the float, or for that value, it will apply the int. When you are trying to convert a string into a float, it is going to work in this way. A string into a float, it is going to work in this way. When you try to convert a string into int, what it is going to do? First, it will remove the quote. Same thing, common. First, it will remove the quote. After removing the quote, what are the value is there? It will check value. What are the value is int or not? It will check value is int. If yes, it will be converted. Otherwise, it will not be converted. If yes, it converts string to int. It converts string to int. Otherwise, no. So example for this, just you write int of 1.2. Int of 1.2. Int of, so one side you take int of string 10. One side you take string of 1.2. First, as I have told you, what first one? Remove the quotes. After removing the quotes, here it is 1.2, here it is 10. Now it will check value is int. This value is int. So what it is going to convert? To int. So output is this one. Output is not int. When it is not int, can it be converted miss? No. That is the reason it is going to throw the error. Right in this way, the step. When you are trying to convert a string to int, when you are trying to convert a string to float, when you are trying to convert a string to Boolean. Only for strings special. Sir, why strings are special? Why others are not special? Why strings only special means very simple reason. Because strings, what are the strings are there? Strings inside that you can write a number, you can write the alphabet, you can write the special character, anything you can write. But whereas in the int or float, you cannot write like that. In this only numbers are possible. Other than number, digit, you cannot write anything. 1, 4, 5, 10, what are the number? Only number only you can write. One digit only you can write. Other than digit, you cannot write anything. In the float also, you are going to use the digit only along with the one dot. Other than that, you cannot use anything else. But whereas in the strings, you can use the digit, you can use the alphabet, you can use the special character. Everything is possible in the strings. So that is the reason strings are different. Okay. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone? Now, everyone is clear? Simply, question is, can a string can be converted to int or float? Means some values can be converted. At the same time, some values cannot be converted. Some values can be converted. Some string values can be converted. Which string values can be converted? Means which string values consist of digits that can be converted. Which are the string value consist of other than digits? It cannot be converted. Simple. Okay. String consists of only digits. String consists of only digits. That is numbers. Can be converted to that string. What are that string is there? That string can be converted to int. Strings which has other than digits. Strings consist of strings having other than digits. Other than digits. What are the digits you are having? Other than digits, that strings cannot be converted to int. That strings cannot be converted to int. That is the main important point. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? So with all the different types of examples, we have covered varieties of examples. Almost in this class, we have covered till now 95 different cells we have executed. I mean, different lines of programs we have executed. And coming to the eval will give the output directly. What are the value is there? It will only convert accordingly. If it is float means it will convert to float. If it is int means it will convert to int. It will only convert accordingly the number. Which can be converted? Only the number. For example, sir, I'm having the S123. Okay. Now, when you're trying to execute this one with eval, it will throw the error. Okay. It will simply throw the error. Okay. So here S is S123. It is going to throw the error. Or you are writing here S at the rate of 123. It is going to throw the error. Okay. When you're trying to convert to eval of H. When you're writing the eval of H, it is throwing the error. Now, when you're trying to use the -123. Okay. Just -123. -123. Since after removing the quotes, it is equal to int, it will automatically convert to int. You don't need to say particularly int. It will only take int automatically. At the same time, if you are having the -123.5, you don't need to say particular to convert to float. It will only convert automatically to float. If it is float value means it will convert to float. If it is int means it will convert to int automatically. So in the backend, they have written the code for according to that. Sir, what would be the backend code behind this? We'll understand later in the further class. Once we go into the functions, now, there automatically you'll understand the reason behind that. So how it was converted, because you should know if conditions. Without knowing the if conditions, I cannot apply the functions here. Okay. If I have to explain something related to function code, it should be something like this. Even minus 124 also. Minus 124 is a int type only, na? Automatically it will only convert to int. You don't need to do anything. It will only convert. The next concept name is called as functional programming. Now, what is meant by functional programming? Python is a functional programming. What is meant by functional programming? Means inside the function, one more function will be executed. Inside one function, one more function. So for example, one function name you have written. Inside this, you write one more function. Inside this, you write one more function. Inside this, you write one more function. Like that, you can write the multiple functions. Inside one function, you can write the multiple functions. So is called as functional programming. Python is a functional programming language. Functional program means within the function, you can execute one more function. Within the function, you can execute another function. You can execute another function. That we call it as functional programming. So which function will be executed first? Outer function or inner function? Means first inner function will be executed. Inner function will be executed. First inner function will be executed. Followed by outer function. Followed by outer brackets. So when you are having the multiple brackets like this, when you are having the multiple brackets, which brackets? These type of brackets. When you are having the multiple brackets like this, then inner bracket will be executed first. Inner bracket. Out of all of them, which is inner, that will be executed first. Followed by this one. Followed by this one. Like that. In that way, it is going to work. This concept is called as functional programming. Right? Same as max rule. Most of them are having the functional programming. Even Excel also has, Power BI has, everything is having the functional programming concept. That is common, right? So here I'm going to use the print. Inside the print, I'm going to ask the int of G. Now what is first, which one will be executed out of all of them? Int of G will be executed. First inner bracket means first G will be executed. What is G? String of 1. So string of 1 will be considered and it will be converted to int, and 1 that will be printed. Now 1 will be printed. So why it is showing the OUT and why it is not showing the OUT for this? For all of them, it has shown the output as OUT. Why this one is not showing the OUT? Means reason behind this, remaining all of them without using the print, directly you have printed. Every line of code you have printed without using the print. So whichever is used with the print, then it will not give OUT. That output OUT it will not give, because obviously it is output only. But for remaining things, it is going to say the OUT. Why it is saying OUT means, though you have not given the print, I am giving the output. It is saying like that. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone? Now, for example, earlier I told you now, okay, this starting. If I execute all these 5 lines, why last line only is getting printed? Because as I've told you, last line automatically gets printed. Now this one also, why it is not getting printed? Why? Because particularly you have not written the print. Now I'm adding the print for everything. Print of this one, print of this one. Like that I'm adding for everything the print. What are the line I want to print? For everything I will use the print only. Without using the print, I will not print. Assume. Let's take an example like this. For everything I'm using the print. Now if I execute all these 5 lines, every line will be printed. Is the point is clear? Understood the difference? So if you want to print the between lines also, you have to use the print. For the last line, when you are executing a single line of code, without writing the print also, it will be executed automatically. It will print automatically in the Python. When you are executing a single line, that is the reason I told you when you execute a single line of code. In the note also, you have written the single line of code. Is that clear? Now, here I'm going to take the, for example, H is there. What are the H is there? H is this one. As everyone knows now, H is nothing but string of minus 124. This is the H. Now, what are the H is there? Okay, for this H, I'm applying the first bool of H. For the bool, I'm going to apply the float of H. Okay, FLOAT, float of H. And for this output, I'm going to apply the int of H. Now, which bracket will be executed, guys? Inner bracket, that is first H. What is H? Minus 124. First, it will take this. For this, it will apply the bool. What is the bool of this one? True. Other than empty string, everything is true. Now, float of true. What is float of true? Float of true is 1.0. For 1.0, it will apply the int. Int of 1.0 is 1. And finally, you are going to get the output as 1. This is the one of the question was given in the Microsoft exam. Microsoft exam, they have given this question. So some of the students might feel it is a silly question only. But when you write the exam, these silly questions only, in the flow, we will write A, B, C, D. They will give we will not observe remaining two also. Blindly we will select some wrong options in some time in the flow. I'm saying clearly in the flow. We'll feel that this is a silly question and fast. Okay, if the exam is of 3 hours also, we want to complete that one in the 2 hours. That remaining 1 hour is very important because man of the match award they will give outside. So we have to complete as early as possible. Why that much of hurry? 3 hours exam is 3 hours you can sit now. No, we want to complete in 2 hours on. In that 1 hour, we are going to save so much of time, valuable time. If extra 1 hour is there for you or half an hour is there or 10 minutes is there also, you can re-evaluate. Instead of re-evaluating, they will come fast. Who? Freshers will come. Experienced people will not come. Now, if you go to the certification exam now, you'll observe this one very clearly. Experienced people will not come outside till the exam will end. Why you know? Because in the company, when we are submitting our project to our senior, we'll cross-check once, twice. If anything goes wrong, miss, for silly mistakes also, reactions will be very wild. If psycho manager is there, miss, still worst. So before sharing to our team lead or before sharing to our seniors, first we'll cross-check. It is not like WhatsApp message, sending a wrong message and keeping down 1 star mark. Okay, printing mistakes are sorry, star mark, and this is the correct word. This is not WhatsApp message in the company. So in the company, when we are forwarding something to the seniors or to the manager, we'll cross-check once, twice. So same thing we have to do. That will get automatically the inbuilt in the companies once we do na. Once you send in a flow, your senior will scold you na. Second day onwards, automatically once, twice he'll check. Again he'll scold. Even small mistake also he'll scold, right? Third day, that small mistake also properly you'll check. Right? That you'll get automatically. That seniors, you'll think that, see, this stupid, he's not even accepting this small mistake also. You'll think internally. Of course, you can't say outside. If you say outside, he will ask get out. Okay, but internally we'll think like that. But here the point is that small things are also more important because submitting the project is not like that. Delivering the project means we have to cross-check once, twice. Testing has to be done properly. Right? So here the point is when you are having the example like this, inner bracket will be executed first, followed by outer bracket. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? So this concept is called as functional programming. Next concept is called as input function in Python. So earlier we have seen the output in Python. Output we call it as print. Print is called as output. Input is called as input in Python. Print is called as output in Python. Input function is called as input in Python. Sir, what is this input? Asking the user to enter the value. Earlier, what you have done, for example, age is equal to 24. Instead of writing the 24 directly, ask the user to enter the value 24. Ask the user. So user has to enter the value. You should not enter the value. User has to enter the value. So user has to enter the value means we are going to write the input. So as I've told you, which side will be executed first, right side or left side means right side. First input function will execute. And once you have provided the input, that value will be stored in the age. So now I'm executing this line. Now input function, what are the input function is there? Here, can you see? You have to give the input here. I'm going to input the 24, something, assume. Sir, what it has to input? How you know, sir? Here, actually it is empty. I don't know what to input. Something I'm inputting. Whatever I have inputted, okay, it is going to store in the age. You see here, it is storing as the string. Default data type is string, means age value. What are the input function it has executed? I have entered 24. It has taken automatically the quotes. Simply it will add the quotes. Whatever you write. For example, you have written, what is this, sir? Don't ask, but it will add the quotes. Whatever you write, it will add the quotes. It work is only that. Input function automatically. Now, if you want to convert, you can convert later. That is your choice. Okay. Now, first asking the user to enter the age. Enter your age. Now, if you write like this, whatever you are writing inside the input function, that will be printed in the starting. So here it will be printed so that we'll understand what we have to enter. Earlier it has given one empty. So one empty was given and it is asking enter. Enter means what I have to enter. My name I have to enter, my age I have to enter, my education, my qualification, my experience, what I want to enter. So now clearly we are writing here, enter your age. So now I'm entering the age as 24. Of course, it is not my age. Example. Okay, 24. Just I'm entering the 24. So automatically age will be considered. So I'm writing 2277, something like this. What are the number I have entered also? It is going to take the string only. What are the number I have entered? It will store in the string quotes. Simply it will store in the quotes. String. Anything will be stored in the string. So for example, if I'm writing name, okay, the user is asking, what are the user is there? The user is wants the enter your name. They are asking to enter name. And this is executed. Now I'm writing here SRK. Though it is SRK also, it is going to store in the name. What are the name variable is there? In the name, SRK is stored in the string. Even age also stored in the string. Whether you have entered the number also, it will store in the string. Whether you have entered the alphabet also, it will store in the string. For example, it is asking one more time, what enter your name? I'm entering my name as true. My name is true. Okay. And I have entered. Click on the enter button. And once I have entered that, enter your name is true. So what is it going to store? Name is equal to true as a string data type. Though I have entered the Boolean value also string only. I have entered int value also string only. I have, for example, one more time I'm entering here, enter your age. And my age is 24.55. Though I have entered the float also, it is going to store in the string only. Whatever I have entered, it will store in the string only. Name and age, both are in the string only. So input function by default, it will take the string. So here the concept is that typecasting, evolve. So when the person is going to enter something numerical value, you know that he is going to enter other than string something. Then in that case, you have to go with the evolve, other than string. For strings, don't write the evolve. Other than strings. Other than strings. For example, enter your age means the person will enter the string. What he will enter? Number only. Either he will enter age as 23. Some people will enter as 23.5 or something. But they will not enter the string. So whenever the person is going to enter the data in non-string, simply write the evolve. See now, I'm writing here, which will be executed first out of this one, right side or left side means right side. Within the right side also, which bracket will be executed? inner. Inner means what? Enter your age. So first enter your age was executed. After that, what will be executed? Input function will be executed. Now input function means asking the value. So I'm entering here. My age is 25.6. Now what value I have entered? Float value. Now type of value is float. So automatically age will be stored as 25.6 as what data type? Float data type. Automatically it will take as float. As float. Is everyone understood? Yes or no? So it is going to take automatically the float type. Now, for example, the same code, what is your age? I have entered my age is only 27. What value I have entered? Int value I have entered. Now, what data type it is going to store? Int only it will store. See, age is int. So it will take automatically. Evaluate means evaluate. Evaluate automatically. It is going to evaluate. Evaluate means evaluate. So when you are going to write, when you are asking the user to enter other than string, then don't use the other than string. You have to use the eval. For strings, don't use the eval. When user is going to enter, when user enters string, when user enters string, don't use. When is going to enter, when user enters other than string, other than anything, even the boolean value is also okay. Other than string. Okay, other than string. The user is going to enter other than string. Okay, then use eval. Use eval. Automatically it will only eval. Okay, for which case you have to use eval, for which case you should not use the eval miss. Is that clear? Everyone? Yes or no? So this is called as input function. Now, for example, okay, your gender is okay, your gender is male. Your gender is male. Enter either true or false. I'm writing clearly. Enter. Okay, your gender is male. Or here first I'll write like this. Print. Answer the below question. What are the below question is there? Below question as true or false. I'll write first like this because the user should know na. So first I'll write like this. And after that, I will ask your gender is male. Okay. And I'm going to store that one in the A, something like this. First, it will be executed. So it is going to show answer the below question as true or false. Your gender is male. Yes, true. I'm going to write the true. So since I have written the true, automatically it will take the A value is equal to Boolean. Input function automatically has considered the Boolean. Because I have entered the Boolean value. Here input I have given the Boolean value. Other than string value, anything is eval. Is the point is clear, guys? There might be cases like this because once we enter into the programs, I can explain more clearly. But as of now, without saying the application, just you can understand only one thing is called as when we are using the input function and the user is going to enter other than string, we have to use the eval. We have to use the eval other than string. For strings, if you apply the eval, it will throw the error. For example, see here, I'm using the eval and input your name. Okay. And I'm going to enter the SRK. Here only I'm entering the SRK and click on the enter button. Though I have entered the correctly also, it is throwing the error. Because unnecessarily you have used the eval for strings. Don't use for the strings. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? Till now, any questions, guys? If you are having any questions till now, you can ask. What are the questions you are having? Niranjan, one more example on evolve, please. Okay, Niranjan, ask the user something to enter. According to you, what you will ask the user? For example, how many years of experience you have? That is the question. How many years of experience? How many years of IT experience? This is the question was given to us. And the user has to enter. Okay. Now, automatically, this will be executed here. And here I'm going to enter my experience. Basically, it is 14.6. 14 years, 6 months, 14.6. Assume. I want to enter the 14.5. So I'm going to enter 14.5. So now, though I have entered according to input function, it has to take as the string. So though I have entered the 14.5 according to the input function. From input function, I have entered 14.5. How it will be stored? String 14.5. It is going to store like this. Now eval is applied on this. Now what is the output? Output of eval of 14.5? Only 14.5. Now this 14.5 will go into the A. Is the point is clear now? So the moment I enter this one, automatically A will be considered as float. Clear? Niranjan, is your question is clear? Yes or no? Done. Anyone has any questions else? If anyone has any questions or anyone want me to unmute? Earlier, I think one student, sir, if user enters some string in eval of age, I can't get error. Instead, I put some user-friendly error message and execute the next line if possible. That we call it as error handling. Error handling, which we call it as exceptional handling in Python. That we call it as error handling. Means it has to ignore the error and it has to go to the next line. Shrikant, that we'll discuss in the further. Right? We call it as error handling. Error handling, which is also called as exceptional handling. Exception means errors. Done? Done, guys. So from here, we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. And in tomorrow's class, we are going to cover the next concept related to, okay? Next concept is based on the, so today we have completed the typecasting and input function. In the class 5, tomorrow we are going to cover the string methods. Okay? String methods and along with the strings extraction. That is nothing but indexing and slicing. These things we are going to cover in the tomorrow's class. Okay, this is the topic which we are going to have in the tomorrow's class. What if I put the username like 123 Danesh as input for eval? It will throw the error. Simple. It will throw the error. Other than number, when you are entering to enter something, it will throw the error other than number. Now, when you are using the int function, what is the problem is because you are entering the age, if any decimal is there, decimal string of decimal cannot be converted to int, right? As we already discussed, Prasad. Here, if you are having the string which consists of decimal, can be converted to int? Can be converted to int? That is a problem now. So that is the reason we are using the evolve function. Now the person can enter the number either float or int. Anything is okay. Prasad Reddy, is that clear now? Yes. So customer has to enter int only in your example. In your case, the customer has to enter only int. If other than int, whatever he has entered, it will throw the error. In your case. Done? Oh, you are saying that even it is not storing though you have entered the int. Okay, let me check. Prasad Reddy, what are the question you have given? Right? So enter your age. So I'm executing this one. And here I'm entering the age. My age is 24. I'm entering. So this is nothing but string of 24. And for string of 24, int. Int of string of 24 is 24. Now 24 should be stored in the age. Let's cross check in the age whether it will be stored or not. Yes, it is storing. It is not giving any error now. Float not stores. It will not store. It will not store for the float. That is the same thing I'm saying, right? When you're using the int of input of enter your age, right? Now int of input of your age you are entering as 24.5. That is nothing but int of string of 24.5. String of 24.5, when you're trying to convert to int, it is going to throw the error. Same thing, right? We have discussed here already. This one, string of 1.2, why it is throwing the error here? Same error. It will not give. Right? Next, outside function is int. So it will take numerical value only int. Int numerical values only it will take. Int numerical values only it is going to take. Done. Okay, guys. From here, we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Yeah. Everyone is clear? Anyone has any questions? If no questions, you can leave. If anyone has questions, please ask. Others, you can leave. What I am saying is, it is first give the float first. Okay. After giving the float, you are going to click on the enter button or not. Enter button means once the code was executed. Now again, refresh code only. Again, you have to execute the code. Again, you have to execute the code, right? Prasad, have you done in the same way? Okay, you have to click the enter. You have to click the enter now. Without enter, how it will store? And click enter. Now it is clear. Now it is clear now. It has executed perfectly for you now. Okay, done. Tomorrow we'll continue from here. And first I'll take your question only. From there we'll have. Right? Tomorrow first initial first 5-10 Prasad Reddy. Tomorrow anyways the class will start first 10 minutes now. 6:10 it will start now. For tomorrow, last day is last day for tomorrow, 6:10. So at 6 o'clock you join the class. I will unmute you and we'll discuss first. First we'll discuss, later we'll continue the session. Okay. Sure. Done. Because next class is there. 7:30 batch waiting. Thank you.